Saturday, July 24th, it's the Born to Ride Great American MotoFest at the Boss Hog Ranch, Plant City. Presented by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL. The return of the motorcycle rodeo, sled pulls, and so much more. Rooster's Rod Shops, Thunderstruck Rod and Truck Show, Budweiser Chopper Show. All bikes welcome. Roscoe's famous outhouse drags, swamp meet, misfit mini bike races, bike games, ice cold Budweiser, food truck rally, TV taping, live radio remotes, live music concerts, Randy Stevens tribute to Stevie Ray Vaughan, Tommy Rock's band tribute to Southern Rock. Win a free cruise for 2 on the High Seas Rally. Win free tires from B Rubber and Metal Sport Wheels. Vendors call Mama Dukes. Special thanks to our sponsors. Only $5 admission. Proceeds to benefit the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches. Saturday, July 24th, the Born to Ride Great American MotoFest.
Thanks for tuning in to Born to Ride TV, the longest running biker TV show in the world. This week from Born to Ride Radio, it's Doggone Hot Dogs for Forgotten Angels. The amazing story of Jared Weems and his tribute to the iconic David Mann while helping children at the same time. Then, the picture books are an electric force. Find out how and why. And Born to Ride's Great American MotoFest is coming. All this and more here on Born to Ride.
Born to Ride is sponsored in part by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL, representing riders since 1988. Offices throughout Florida, 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
What's up? I'm Finn, and this is Philip from the Picture Books, and you're watching Born to Ride. Yeehaw!
Saturday, July 24th, it's coming. Born to Ride's Great American MotoFest.
Hey, it's John and Tim from Rooster's Rod Shop, coming to you to talk about the Thunderstruck event on July 24th. What kind of cars are they gonna have out there, man?
Any kind of cars.
Any kind?
Any kind.
What about trucks?
Trucks are cool too.
They got
Bring your
what?
motorcycles. We got chopper event happening.
I heard some about some mini bikes.
You got a mini bike?
I got a couple mini bikes.
We'll run them then.
So,
Yeah, we got that happening. You know, we partnered up with Born to Ride magazine.
who?
Born to Ride.
Oh,
You ain't never heard of them?
Yeah, man, them guys are cool as hell.
All right then.
I dig
I didn't
them
know.
guys. You got
These guys right here.
Oh,
right
whoa,
there.
whoa.
And check that out.
All right.
MotoFest.
Damn it,
What's
man.
the deal? Yeah, we got car show happening, chopper show.
Where's it gonna be at?
What the hell's that place called?
I think it's Boss Hog Ranch.
Boss Hog Ranch.
Yeah.
That's right. Right in Plant City.
Yeah,
So y'all should be there.
that's it.
Check
Hope to
it
see you
out.
guys.
Let's make it happen. Make it worth doing.
For sure. Be a good time all day.
Saturday, July 24th, it's coming. Born to Ride's Great American MotoFest.
Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, this is Jared Weems from Weems Motor Co.
Jared, how you doing today, man?
Wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're doing great here at Boss Hog Radio, Born to Ride right here, man. We're talking to Eric Runyon, photographer extraordinaire, and one of our marketing guys in the office, and he told us about your story. And Eric came out and took pictures of your project. Now, your charity is Forgotten Angels, right?
That's correct. Yes, sir. Forgotten Angels, they're a local nonprofit based out of Valrico, Florida, which is just on the south side of Brandon. And what they do, what their mission is they take in kids who have aged out of the foster care system. Basically, the state of Florida provides funds for families who take in kids that are foster kids and provide some financial assistance to take care of them. But the problem is once they reach the age of 18, the state of Florida looks at them as an adult and they stop the funding. And unfortunately, a lot of these families are only fostering for the financial benefit, and that's a sad thing to really think about. So when the funds stop, they basically kick these kids out on the streets. Some of these kids haven't even graduated high school yet. They don't have jobs. They don't have transportation of anything, and all of a sudden they're left out essentially to fend for themselves with no life skills. And so what Forgotten Angels does is they bring these kids in. I call them kids. They're 18-year-old. They're considered an adult, but they bring them in. The first thing they do is they give them a place to sleep. They have a 12-acre property there in Valrico where they have little tiny homes built for these kids, and they give them a place to lay their head. They get some food in their belly, and they start walking this path with them to either graduate high school, get their GED, to get a job, or just basic life skills that we all have learned as having parents to teach us. Basic things like setting up a bank account, how to write a check, how to manage money, how to do a job interview. And so they bring these kids in and they really help them, give them a chance to get on their feet.
That's awesome. And we've heard about Forgotten Angels. I think we did an event with them years ago, Brandon Harley Davidson, and actually you're involved with the a guy who they did a movie on, right, Quentin, with The Blind Side?
Yeah. So amazing story. Quentin Aaron from The Blind Side movie with Sandra Bullock and I always forget the country singer's name. But yes, so Quentin was the main actor in the movie, where he played a boy who became homeless, and this family brought him in and adopted him. But on the real life, Quentin has a big passion for what Forgotten Angels are doing, and he's kind of come alongside of them as one of their national spokespersons. And Quentin was involved in this other event, and I think it was Forgotten Angels as well. We got to interview him for Born to Ride. Larger than life, great guy, big teddy bear, and a great actor as well. Dave Mann only painted a few Triumphs. Is that right? Yeah. So kind of the process with the bike that came up was I was active duty in the military for 16 years. And I developed a brain tumor. And in this time of this brain tumor, I essentially sold everything that I had, like to do with motorcycles, because I didn't know if I was going to live a day or a year or what. And so I got rid of everything. And in that time, I had a good friend, a local, what I call a gray-bearded biker guy, good friend of mine. His name is Mike. He came by and he gave me this old David Mann painting. Well, it was the centerfold out of a magazine. And I just kind of dropped my jaw, because I'm really huge into Triumph motorcycles, especially the vintage ones is really where, I find my passion. And in this centerfold was a pre-unit Triumph motorcycle, and it was painted by David Mann. And I was just floored. I was like, I never knew that David Mann had ever done any Triumphs at all. And that kind of started this weird process for me, man. I started getting online and looking up every single Easy Rider magazine, Iron Horse magazine that David Mann had a centerfold in. And then I realized that he only painted 2 in his whole career with working with those magazines. And funny enough, the very first one he painted was in his very first painting that Ed Roth had shown to the guys over at Easy Rider magazine. It was about third motorcycle back in the stack. The painting's called Hollywood Run. And so the motorcycle, it's barely hard to tell that it's even a Triumph, other than it being a parallel twin motor. And So that was his first one, and then the second one was, featured in July of 1983 in Iron Horse magazine is actually who it's through, but that's when, Easy Riders were the publishers for Iron Horse. So, but yeah, so that.
So you recreated this motorcycle, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I got the painting, and I was like, man, this is incredible. And then a good friend of mine, Mike Davis, who is the organizer for Born Free Show out in California, I put out an invite to have a Triumph pre-unit class only for the Born Free this year. And I said, what greater opportunity to build a bike now that I've kind of worked through the brain tumor period and seizures and stuff. And I said, I'm going to recreate this motorcycle that David Mann dreamed of. It was never really a real motorcycle. And so I, went to work trying to find a lot of those rare parts that was on the bike. But he did such an amazing job. I mean, everybody knows his paintings. They're just immaculate. And the amount of detail that he put into this motorcycle made it easy, but also challenging to recreate what he painted.
So tell us about that day when you debuted it, and what was that day all about?
Literally days before we decided that, hey, we're going to do this unveiling because the bike's completed. We want to kick off the raffle. A local friend of mine, he's a YouTuber. His name is Shade Tree Surgeon. His name's Josh.
Yeah.
He put together a ride last minute, and we literally had over 40 motorcycles from all across Florida come to Ybor City and do a ride over to Little Valrico, Florida to see, a motorcycle that, I built. And it was great because that one day kicking off the raffle, it was amazing to see the support, number one, from the people who were there, but to see the ticket sales start coming in. It was just like a very, very humbling experience to be part of that and to help, Forgotten Angels out. I brought it out to Forgotten Angels property, and I wanted to unveil the bike there because of the relationship that I built with their organization and also with the boys that work there. Halfway through this build, I was probably about 75% completed on the build, and the motorcycle was gaining a lot of traction. I had reached out to several people within the motorcycle industry to find out, number one, which actual magazine that the motorcycle was featured in, because I only had the centerfold, and I did see the Iron Horse logo down there. So I did my detective work and ended up getting in touch with Ellen Teresi, who actually owns the original painting. And so I was talking with her, told her what I was doing, and she got me in touch with Jackie Mann, and I've had opportunities to email back and forth with her. And so I realized quickly that this motorcycle meant a lot more to the motorcycle community as a whole than it just did to me to recreate, something from, a painting. And that's when I said, it's bigger than me. I can take the opportunity to really pay this forward. The whole, initial point was to build the motorcycle and just sell it because the huge investment that it takes to build a show bike. And so I was just kind of thinking through the process, and somebody had connected me with Forgotten Angels, and I found out what they're doing out there for these kids, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to donate the motorcycle to them, and we're going to, raise as much funds as we possibly can to help them in their endeavors, and it's been amazing. So that's why we did the unveil there. I had some of the boys who actually helped me work on the motorcycle. I brought them over, and they did some polishing, they did some assembly, and it was cool to take that moment to build a connection with them and build relationships with them, because you never know who these kids are going to be. One of these kids might turn out to be the next David Mann. They might turn out to be the next Arlen Ness. We never know exactly what our investments are going to pay out to be in the future. So I wanted to make it a part for them because they played such a big part in it for me. They gave me inspiration to, just even the investment that I've made, just to donate it to them and say, hey, let's make this worthwhile. And I think, this process is going to be amazing for them. I last week, Tracy Tracy Scott, which is David Mann's daughter, reached out to me and said, hey, thank you for what you're doing. You may not have known, but we lived in Clearwater, Florida for a while, and my dad actually adopted a son there. And I was like, man, I didn't know the connection, with me working with a foster system and David Mann actually adopting. That just, kind of goes together and says,
wow,
his heart is my heart.
Yes,
and
exactly.
just to help kids, man, that's where I'm at. I could care less what accolades this gets for me. I don't care. I'm going to work on triumphs. I'm going to build triumphs on my own because that's what I love to do. But to push it forward for these kids, man, that's where it's at for me. So if you're interested in the raffle, there's several prizes that are part of this raffle. Obviously, the grand prize winner is going to receive the motorcycle, which is a 1952 Triumph Speed Twin. I've just nicknamed it the David Mann replica. And they're going to receive print number 1, the only one on canvas of the painting of David Mann. Easy Riders and Aaron Teresi and the Mann family have decided to re-release the print. It was never available for purchase in print. This is the first time only, but they're releasing a limited edition number of prints, and the winner will get print number 1 on canvas. The second place winner is going to receive a Biltwell helmet that's been painted to the same color scheme as the motorcycle that was generously donated by Bill from Biltwell. Third place is a $500 Lowbrow Customs package. My buddy Tyler from Lowbrow Customs has donated that. And then the fourth place winner is going to receive a David Mann official store package with some of his memorabilia and then some of my T-shirts and hats and stuff. So those are the four prizes. The tickets are only $25 a piece. If they want to make a generous donation of $100, they're going to receive a bonus ticket, so they'll receive 5 tickets at $100.
Awesome.
And then the tickets can be purchased right through my website. That's www.weemsmotorco.com. Weems is W-E-E-M as in Mike, S, and then the word motor, M-O-T-O-R, and then C-O.com. Say, once you get on the website, you'll see right at the very top there's a tab that says raffle. You click on that, it'll give you all of the details, all of the prize packages and everything, and there's a button that says buy tickets, and you just click on that, it'll take you right into the raffle site.
Jared,
before you go, is there a website where we can get information for the Forgotten Angels?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. If they're wanting to make just a direct donation, I know certain corporations are not able to purchase raffle tickets. You can go to www.forgottenangelsflorida.org, and they have a donation tab there. And just one other note, just a cool factor is we're going to be going to the David Mann Show, which is Chopper Fest out in California in December. And while we're there, we're actually going to be recreating the painting into real life. We're going to the hot dog stand that's in the painting. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to just kind of bring the painting into life.
Wow, that's cool.
We want to be there, and document anything we can do to help magnify your greatness and everything you're doing for the kids and our future of America. And thank you for your service too, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. I thank you guys for having me out tonight.
All right,
Thank you,
Jared. Good job.
All right, we'll follow up.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you guys. Bye.
And welcome to Born to Ride Live, the Flash Man. Ron Galetti's in the house, and man, what an opening to the show that was, my friend.
Yeah, Flash, how you doing today, man? Good to be here with you. Cartel Baggers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Rooster's Rod Shop, those guys are a trip.
Those are my boys right there. Those are definitely my guys. They just have, I don't know if you've ever been over to their shop, and if you haven't, guys, over in the Pinellas Park, Clearwater area, what an amazing shop they got. And you talk about the old school putting things together. I mean, they don't like to do anything on any vehicle or bike that's like before 1974. They don't like the fuel injection stuff. They like the old school stuff. And man, they really do produce some great stuff. Can't wait to get out there and hang out with those boys again.
Well, they're a big part of MotoFest. They're bringing the car show, the bike show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're really doing the car show, the automotive stuff, with the
Right.
rods and trucks and vans. So
Yep.
that should be a trip, Saturday, July 24th. But the feature with Jarrett Weems, Jarrett Weems is a great builder and a philanthropist here in Tampa Bay, and
Yep.
he did the Triumph bike that the tribute to David Mann. And we
saw that at Choppertown. We saw that at Choppertown too.
Yeah, we just saw an amazing feature on Jarrett Weems and his big heart and dedication to not only motorcycling but to charity, to build a motorcycle and to honor Dave Mann, which is a legend from Easy Riders and art field. He was the Norman Rockwell of motorcycling.
He really was.
Dave Nichols knew him really well, told some great stories about him. And Jarrett Weems was on the show. And what a great feature that was. So that's what we deliver here with Born to Ride. We find people and we tell their stories. And Jarrett's going to be a big part of MotoFest. That's why it was so important to get that on this week so people can really see the kind of talent that they're going to be able to witness at MotoFest.
Man, I can't wait for MotoFest. That's going to be such a good time. You know what I'm looking forward to? And looking at some of the footage from the MotoFest and the things that are, that have gone past is the old school biker games, the stuff that you and I used to do back in the day when we were hosting all those huge bike events, like back in Cowboys and at the Rack and stuff. We do the slow races and the hot dog eating slow races, just crazy stuff. The deal where you throw the balloon over the water balloon and try to catch it, just all these cool old biker games, and it's cool. And speaking of the old school, I'm wearing one of the old school hats. You know who gave me this hat?
Who's that?
Our boy Charlie Kelly, man. Rest in peace, Charlie Kelly. This is the Charlie Kelly look I'm sporting today, buddy.
Yeah, Charlie Kelly was a legend and a great man. And we really miss Charlie Kelly because
we really do.
He really got out there and rode the roads and talked to the people, and he was a great goodwill ambassador for Born to Ride.
He really was, man. He is certainly missed. Yeah,
he passed away coming back from Angel City Rally as well, and it was
I hated to hear that, man. That was
hat.
Yeah, that's it. The Born to Ride black hat, buddy.
Charlie Kelly, and Flash. Coming up though, man, we're going to see some really cool stuff. The picture books, we met them at the Gibtown Bike Rally, and those guys are right in the same vein of what's going on. And we're going to see Brian Butera, an unbelievable builder who's going to be at MotoFest. Wait till you see the stuff he's building. He's internationally known. He's right here in our own backyard in Plant City. Tampa Bay and Florida's got such great talent.
Yep,
great
really
building.
do.
We're really happy to have him here. And, Rob's going to go back to the swap meet and show us his knowledge and some funny stuff out there at the swap meet because we're going to have a big swap meet at MotoFest.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, if you ever get a chance to hang out with that guy at any one of these swap shops, it's just amazing the just intricate knowledge of these old school bikes that he has. It's just he's like a walking motorcycle encyclopedia. It's unreal.
Times 10, of course.
Yeah.
So, man, we've got all that coming up next for you guys. So stay tuned. Let us know what you think about the show, man. Share
by all means. And don't forget, if you're not a part of our Facebook family, make sure you hit that subscribe and like and all that stuff. And, of course, borntoride.com has links to all of our other social media platforms. We want you to be a part of that. Ron, what do you say we get into this first segment? Let's check it out.
All right, brother.
Here we come.
Motorcycles. We ride Harley Davidson. And I guess this is something that a lot of people think that way. Nobody, if you ride a Harley, you tell somebody, I ride a Harley. You don't tell them I ride a motorcycle. That's how much a Harley gives you a feeling. It's crazy. It's so crazy how much everything changes as soon as you have a Harley. Hey, I'm Finn. I'm the singer and guitarist of the Picture Books.
Hey, I'm Philip. I'm the drummer of the Picture Books.
Philip and I met in the local skate park of our really small hometown. There's nothing going on in this town. There's no scene, no nothing. So when Philip came in wearing a Black Flag shirt and I was wearing a Roxy Music shirt back then, we immediately clicked and realized we're into the same stuff, motorcycles, music, and just skateboarding. We fell in love with that whole vibe, you know, of riding a two-wheeled motorized vehicle. You know, it was the coolest thing ever. I guess it's really hard to describe the feeling when you sit on a Harley and you actually ride it. I don't think there's a word for it. I think it's a feeling that you can't put in words.
You can't really put in words, but it's something you can feel, and you can let yourself go, actually. You can just be one with your machine and just go. Endless.
I guess we realized real fast that you can't imitate a Harley Davidson with something that is not Harley Davidson. So we went through a bunch of bikes that were cool and a lot of fun, but knew real fast that we need a Harley. The funny thing is, I can't weld. Philip, you can't weld either. Like, we can't weld. We can't really actually build something from scratch. It's the same with music. We're not professional musicians. We just know what we want and we know what we don't want. And then we'll try to find a way to get there. And it was the same thing with bikes. We just love bikes, man. We just love bikes. I mean, at that point, Philip and I basically never ridden a new bike. And so I remember riding a Street Glide for the first time, and Philip had a Road King, and we just completely fell in love with it. And can't imagine riding anything else from now on, to be honest. Also, the thing with us is we don't really consider ourselves a band. We're just best friends that use music as a tool to express whatever's going on in our hearts.
Coverage here at Gibtown Bike Fest Chopperama, probably with one of the standout guys today, and it's really great to have you here, Brian Butera, and you're like from Florida, from Polk County, right?
Yeah, yep, Lakeland, Florida. I've been back there about 7 years. I've traveled all over from out west, grew up out west, but Lakeland's home. That's where the shop's at.
Tell me about the concept of your designs and what you do.
I build my bikes from the frame up, so I design the frames and front ends. And I build really simple, minimalistic, stripped-down bikes around vintage Harley motors. So just classic choppers, you know, horsepower and metal.
Yeah, and I mean, they're totally original, but they got that old-school feel for sure, but internationally known, man. I mean, you've gone all over the world with the creations that you've created.
Yeah, I'd never been out of the country before I started building bikes, and it's taken me all over the world, and friends all over the world, Switzerland, Abu Dhabi, Germany this year, so it's been pretty amazing. Yeah.
How cool is that when different languages, different countries, but the motorcycle brings everybody to a common stance?
Yeah, from being the Middle East and everywhere else, and the camaraderie that the motorcycles bring together, it's amazing. It really is. And even here today, you see it amongst the builders and everybody, the bikes and the families coming in. Motorcycles are a special thing, man. You see it from Japan to California to here. It's the scene that's happening, you know, and it's a grassroots custom scene, so people appreciate it. A lot of these guys are in small shops, myself included, behind the house and little things, and it's some of the best bikes in the Southeast are here. And some of these bikes I've seen all around the country that have traveled to some of the biggest shows, so it's great to get them all together here close to home.
Yeah, it's unbelievable because these bikers, they're real bikers here, and they really appreciate it, and I think they really have a lot of respect for what they're seeing because they don't get to see it as much as they'd probably like to.
Yeah, and you know, with my bikes, they're all rideable, functional bikes, and I think, as far as I know, everyone, or for the most part, all of them in there are. So it's gives some legitimacy to what we build and what we do. You know, the bikes have proven themselves, and that goes a long way with the true bikers too.
So can you tell us anything about the third one? Because I know you got something in that pocket, man, talking about it.
Yeah, it's totally different scene, different style. It's a 73 shovel. But it's going to be a little something different from us, so I'm excited to show everybody.
I'm sure everybody's looking forward to that. And one other thing, man, it's always cool because you're like a family, too. Your wife's there with you with the blood, sweat, and tears, you know. How important is family to what we all do in this whole industry?
It's big, you know, the friendships, like I said earlier, around the world, and the guys that do this, and we help each other. Everybody has their strong suits, and yeah, the people closest to you, I don't care who you are, you can't do it alone. So to have people to support you means everything.
That's cool. Now, if someone wants to see more of your creations or learn more about you, how can they get in touch with you or see more about Brian?
I'm on Instagram mainly. It's Butera's Metalworks, WERX, and Brian Butera on Facebook. Pretty easy to get a hold of.
Saturday, July 24th, it's coming. Born to Ride's Great American MotoFest.
Stuff. Well, it looks like he's got a shovel head, of course, an old flat side. I call him flat side. Some people call him slab sides, but I've never heard of that my entire life until about 5 years ago. But he's also got a flathead engine over there. I think it's a big twin 80, so let's go take a look. I'm thinking if you're restoring an older bike, this is the guy you need to talk to. If he doesn't have the parts you're looking for on the tables, I'm sure he knows where to get them, because he's got all the old stuff here. The oil pumps and the carburetors. You know, these are like liquid gold. I mean, these are cast iron. You see it? These are cast iron. You can rebuild them. They never really wear out. They might break or go bad if a gear messes up. The same thing with the carburetors. These things are, this body's probably at least $100 just for this piece. By the time you got it rebuilt with all the other parts and pieces, it probably worth $750. He's got all the early 45 parts. He's got everything he's got out here is a treasure, you know. So if you're trying to restore a bike and you want to be specific to the year, this guy's got the parts you need. If you ask him for the specific parts, I'm sure if you don't have them here, he'll bring them to you at the next event. Well, see, there's two different styles here now. You got to see the difference here, where it's smooth, and this one's got an extra ridge on it. So the extra ridge has got the oiler built in there, so it's an adjustable oiler. So these are two different. I think one's an early panhead and one's late panhead. Hey, partner, you got a second?
Yeah.
What's the difference in the oil pumps?
This is an earlier panhead pump, and that's a later panhead pump.
You
can tell it by the rib right there.
With the boss?
I don't know what you got here. I didn't look at it. Yeah, this is a real early one.
That's an early pan.
It's a late knucklehead and an early pan.
Okay.
They're almost the same. The width of the gears change a little bit.
Right. And what would this piece be worth?
Oh, that's like $100.
Isn't that what you said? I'm pretty close today, pretty accurate, you know, because I know what this stuff's worth too, and I wouldn't give it away for less than 100. Want to get it? I want to see some transmission.
Come on. Look at the hard parts.
I want to see if there's a reverse gear in there. Well, here's the gold mine in that pile. Yep. That's the idler gear for a reverse transmission. And I just said, let's see if we can find one, but that's it. Look at that little jewel.
Probably one out of
how many?
That
all of
actually
them.
Know that.
It's a reverse gear. There's the stud, and the reverse gear goes inside the transmission. Yep. And then when you go to hit reverse, the gear comes all the way over and engages this, making the transmission gears turn the opposite direction. What would something like that cost today? We know what it is. Now see, that's a hell of a deal right there. $20. Well, cylinders, the problem with cylinders, you have to measure them to see what size they are, because if they got rust in them or something like that, you really won't know. This is a cylinder sleeve. Back in the day, after you bored the cylinder too much, it was overbored, you couldn't get a piston big enough. So what they would do is they would machine the bore out and then press this sleeve. This is a cast iron sleeve. They would press it into the case, and then it would cool off, and it would lock into position. Then you could go back to a standard bore cylinder. But the best part about it is the sleeve is a much cleaner steel, so the piston's actually slicker going up and down the sleeve than it is the cast iron.
A lot of people don't know what them things are. They say, what the hell was that?
Well, we got a lower end that's still together, but it's a twin cam engine. It's in pieces, so this is a good opportunity for people to see what the engine looks like that have never seen one apart. Of course, you got your cylinders missing, and then you got your head sitting on top of it. But this is what the twin cam engine looks like when it's apart and in pieces, and it usually gets stripped down this far when they hop them up for you at the Harley shop, but never past that. They'd hardly ever change out the stroke. So this is a chance to see what they look like. These are the 95 cubic inch cylinders and pistons, and you can go oversized on this. But the two rods hanging out there, you got your cam gear and your drive gear. Now this motor's fuel injected, no doubt about it. The cylinders, of course, are missing, but the heads would sit on top of it. There's the head. The head would sit on top of it just like that. And that's what your twin cam engine looks like when it's all in one piece. So now you know what the insides look like. An engine like this right here is probably about $1,000 with all the parts and pieces. It would probably take another $800 in parts, and then probably $1,200 in labor to put it all back together as a fresh motor again. What you want for this?
I'd like to get 8, but I'm open for a good offer.
Well, what'd I say, 9?
Yeah.
I just quoted 9.
It's a complete motor.
Oh, you got the rest of it also.
Yep.
This is the cam cover.
The cam cover.
Yeah, this. Well, see, now everybody will recognize it. There's your cam cover. Okay. Once we slide it in place, there's your twin cam engine now. In case you didn't recognize it earlier. And that's a great deal. $800 for an engine. Like I said, $800 for this engine. The valve job looks like it's okay. I'm not sure about the pistons and cylinders. You'd have to mic them out. But the cam drive, everything else is all in good shape still. So for somebody that's going to the AMI school or something like that wants to start building a bike from pieces, this is an incredible engine to start with.
Our children come from different backgrounds with different stories. They learn time-honored values like the importance of faith, hard work, and that an education is something no one can take away. They learn that respect begins with themselves and should be given to others. The Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches, where kids learn, laugh, and dream with people who refuse to give up on them. With your donation today, we can give them a brighter tomorrow.
And we are back with you. It's Born to Ride Live. Dave the Flashman Morgan here. Ron Galletti in the house this week. I'll tell you, man, how was your 4th of July? Everything good? You didn't blow any fingers off or anything, did you?
No, 4th of July is a great holiday for America, to celebrate America. And Debbie and Emily and myself went to Plant City to watch the fireworks show, man, last night. It was really awesome.
It was great too. What was so nice is, everybody was so pinned up with COVID last year, and now for folks to be able to get out, the neighborhood here over in Largo where I'm at, you would have thought it was the boom town that was going off in downtown Tampa. And I mean to tell you, it was just, the skies were lit up, and it was just so great to see everybody celebrating the 4th of July, Independence Day, and it was just great. And we need to celebrate our men and women of the military. I know your heart is close to the folks of the local police departments and stuff. We just got to remember these guys every day, not just on Independence Day and just not on Veterans Day and stuff. Remember these guys that are putting their lives on the line, guys and gals, putting their lives on the line to keep our country safe and to be able to do what we're doing right now. Remember.
Well, yeah, that's a celebration of America, brother. And last night on Born to Ride, because we run on regular TV as well here in Tampa Bay,
right?
14 counties and about 2.5 million homes.
Yeah.
We showed the Riding to Bushnell Cemetery to let everybody remember that there's a lot of people out there that gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country.
Yeah.
And also the Buffalo Chip over there, Woody raising those flags. What a great story that is.
That gives me chills every time I see that. And folks, I'm telling you right now, borntoride.com, if you missed any of it, borntoride.com has got 25 years worth of motorcycle content, the longest running TV show in the world. So make sure you check it out and check out all this great content. And I'll tell you, a lot of feel good stuff on borntoride.com.
For sure. And our YouTube channel has it all there too as well. And but seeing the fireworks, you reminisce and you just think about, maybe your kids growing up and hearing the kids in the background going, oh wow. There's kids all over the place last night watching fireworks and with their families. And if anything, it's a good holiday to stay around the house and just, take care of business with family. So it was great. But the biker community is always out there doing great things. Mm-hmm. And coming up in this next segment, we're going to see the High Seas Rally. Our editor, Dave Nichols himself, has a one-on-one over there in his office with Jack Sparrow, man. He was there.
That? Yeah.
And talking about the High Seas Rally. It's a gas. People love that, man. And
my goodness.
We're going to talk to Joe and Skylar from FTW. That's Customs, FTW Customs. They're helping out with MotoFest. They're helping bring the rodeo back. These are people who care about motorcycling. And, of course, Rob is going to take us back again and talk a little bit more about MotoFest and the rodeo. So again, we're cranking up the promotion machine because we can, and we're bringing it, brother. We're bringing it, and it's coming up quick.
The Biker Rodeo, man.
I'm telling you, the whole thing, MotoFest, Saturday, July 24th, is coming to Plant City at the Boss Hog Ranch, and man, it's coming quick. Flash.
Hey, you're going to have to talk to Fester and see if I can get an air shift going on over there, man.
I think they have that for you.
I might have to just roll up in there and do a little old school radio like we did back in the day, buddy.
Oh man, they're always looking for new people there to come and be a part of Boss Hog. So
yeah,
let's set that up. I think they're talking to Russ Albums right now about bringing back the Wax Museum.
Nice. I love it.
And they have Wolfman Jack show, and they also have Casey Kasem, man.
How about that?
So it's really cool to hear that. I learned so much listening to guys like that about music and rock and roll. So
who are you talking to? Look at me. Yeah.
It's a great station, Flash, and I told him we need to bring the Flash Man in and be a part of this as well, because you already are a part anyhow. But even throw that flag up and be really a Boss Hog, and Flash Man needs to be there for sure.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, listen, let's get into segment number 2. Don't forget borntoride.com. After this show, you can go check out 25 years worth of content, and we're getting into it right now. Here we go.
Hey, it's Debbie with Born to Ride. Tune in every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. on the Boss Hog Radio, a fast hour of good talk. Good biker talk, what you really want to hear.
In the studio, not only is Skylar, but we got the head honcho himself, Joe, the welder. Joe, FTW, man.
Joe's trying to escape.
You're
right
helping
now.
us. You're helping us. You got to talk into the mic now.
Yes, sir.
You're talking.
Okay.
You're helping us bring the rodeo back with R&R Cycles. We can't thank you enough. It's a lot to bring it in here, man. But we appreciate you stepping up and helping Tampa Bay get some great entertainment.
It's my pleasure, man. This is how I grew up. This is the lifestyle I grew up in. And I'm not
from where I was originally spawned. So I got to make this my home, and if it's going to be my home, we're going to have a lot of fun.
Well, you know,
that's where you're supposed to have fun.
And you're saying you're going to be bringing, you're thinking 5 or 6 bikes is what you're hoping to do?
For 9 or 10.
Okay, well, good grief. I'm thinking, you know, so that 5 and 6 is now jumping up to maybe 9 or 10 there? Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, he's going to have the corral out there. But you know, Jordan, if you heard you're outside, maybe have Skylar and some of the girls wrenching throughout the day in the middle of building something, put them on a lift or something. Wouldn't that be cool?
I heard you. We might have a little something.
That might be cool, right?
It might be. Maybe we'll make us a motorized bar stool.
That's right. So, Joe, tell us about FTW, man. Everybody thinks it's FTW this or F the world or something, but what is it? It's FTW Customs, but what's it about, man?
Well, what it's about is we don't follow rules, basically. I mean, there's certain laws of physics you have to follow, but we're pretty much, I have a female-based company. I'm taking girls because I'm a father of daughters. And I would never want my daughters to have to rely on somebody that's shifty at best. And I just wanted to have a place for these girls to learn a trade so they don't have to feel like this is what I'm stuck with or this is what I have to do. They can go out and make their own way. And I got to thinking about things I like to do, and one of them is motorcycles. And there's really not a lot of young, smart, pretty female bike builders out there that are known. I'm sure they're out there, ladies, because you're all beautiful in one way or another. But yeah, I want them to start bringing the motorcycle back home, you know. Women can ride too. Women can wrench too. Women are usually better wrenches because, guys, I hate to say this, but they pay attention to detail that we don't. We'll put it off. Let's go to the bar, have a beer, and talk about it later.
And we have
it
patience.
gets forgotten.
Patience.
They deal with us, okay? What can I tell you?
Kyler.
Yeah.
You just heard what Jess said. How does that make you feel? You're kind of like his protege.
His apprentice, yeah.
Yeah, you're apprenticing. I mean, you're learning the ropes. I mean, is he a good teacher?
Joe's an awesome teacher. Joe doesn't believe that he's a good teacher, but the thing about, you know, like, I don't always understand things I learn in a different way than some people may, and he can adapt to that. And so if I say, I'm sorry, I don't learn in this particular way, can you show me a different way? Then he will do that. If he's, you know, like, I'm not a very, like, verbal learner. If you say something, then it goes in one ear and out the other. But if you show me something, then I can do it, which is one of the reasons I wanted to learn a trade.
So what are some of the stuff you're starting to enjoy more and more? I know you took your riding course and that stuff, but around the shop, I mean, what kind of stuff do you look forward to?
I love welding.
What do you love about it?
If there was something like the first time I ever hit the MIG machine, I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. My first couple of welds were just, they looked, they definitely existed.
A little lumpy?
That's a nice way of putting it. It looked like a kid just scribbled with a MIG machine.
There's a lot of females out there that are going, damn, I never thought about being a mechanic or working in a shop. What do you have to say to them, maybe to inspire them?
Don't be scared of going out there and learning a trade. There's a huge demand for women in trades. There's a huge demand for women in the motorcycle industry, in welding, in mechanics, and all of these different things. Pretty much any trade, because there's a huge demand for tradesmen, period. And don't feel intimidated because it's a male-dominated industry. Show those boys who's boss. Women make better welders than men, especially when you get to like TIG and stuff, which is, you know, a type of welding. But, you know, we're very detail-oriented. You could probably do things that the boys can't.
Joe, so what's coming up in the future then? I mean, you got the concepts, or you got that old school New York Indian Larry kind of feel to some of the bikes that I've seen you build, and it's really awesome. At Chopper Town, people were digging what you got. But what some of the new bikes, what kind of concepts, if you can let us in on them, what do you think you're going to do? Just everyday riders, or
all my bikes are everyday riders. Even the choppers are everyday riders. They're not. The riders themselves aren't every day. Because my stuff won't fall apart on you. I'm a freak about that. I don't like doing maintenance all the time, so I make sure there is, you know, everything's done well. Everything's done where it won't break down, things won't fall off it when you go down the road.
But what are you looking to build? What is it going to look like?
Old bikes. I have visions. I know what they want.
What kind of motors? Displacements?
Displacement's huge. Life begins at 100, but that's me. That goes back to the whole trade and paint thing.
Hold on a minute. Dave Nichols, you still on there? Joe's speaking like he's speaking that real deal kind of thing, isn't he, Dave?
It's really true, man. And you know what? All of us love certain kind of bikes. And for me, I think the prettiest motor that Harley ever built was the Panhead. To me, that is just, some people prefer shovel heads and stuff like that. But I think that they are a piece of jewelry. I think they're a work of art. And so if I were ever going to have Joe build me a chopper, it would have to have a pan in it.
It would have a killer Panhead.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites, too.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Dave. Thanks for being part of the show, Skylar, Joe.
One other thing real quick, how do they get in touch with FTW?
You can either contact me directly, or you can go to the FTW Facebook page, or you can call 646-416-3332.
Thank you, guys. And Dave, I don't want to jump off subject too much, but why don't you give us the breaking news about High Seas Rally?
So as we all know, the High Seas Rally is the only truly great biker cruise of the Caribbean. That you there listening to this, you can be a part of this. If you show up at MotoFest, there will be a booth there for the High Seas Rally, and you can win a stateroom for 2 and cruise with us to the Caribbean, and we're going to have one heck of a good time. Now, here's the thing. It's being postponed until October of 2022. And the reason is that the Royal Cruise Line, they still wanted to impose, 6 foot of distance between people and have people wear masks. And the good people of the High Seas Rally said, no, we don't want to do that. Because you don't understand who we're talking with here. We're talking about a group of bikers going on a cruise, and they're not going to be interested in social distancing. So what they did is this. They made a deal with Royal Caribbean Line so that this cruise is going to go on, but it's going to be October 2022, and all the booze is free.
Ooh. Did you say all the booze, like for one person at a time can drink? Tell us why we should go on that High Seas Rally. If you got Jack, might as well have him tell us.
Jack, can you come over here and talk to these people? No, just come over here. It's not a big deal. I don't know that what was the deal on the radio, because I've had a bit of rum. You're always drinking rum. Just sit down and tell them about the cruise. Well, I can tell you this, friends. It is absolutely the single most wonderful cruise that you could possibly go on, if you don't, in fact, have the Black Pearl, which of course I do. But being that you don't, you might as well go on a cruise ship and have a wonderful time, eh? So here's what I want you to do. I would like you to go down to MotoFest. Now, I won't be there because I'm double parked. My ship is double parked and I can't make it. But if you go to MotoFest, what you will do is this. You will go down to the booth where the High Seas Rally is. The people are hanging out there, and you say, I'd like to win the free cruise, please. And if they don't give you the free cruise, let me know and I shall come and punish them.
Because of the High Seas Rally, they're going to give away Ocean View cabin for two at MotoFest here at the Boss Hog Radio Ranch. Right here, right, Boss Hog? Is that right, Fester?
Boss Hog Ranch, no doubt about it. July 24th. That's a Saturday.
Yes.
Jack, were you in on getting us that? Did you pull some strings, sir?
Well, I wouldn't pull strings exactly, but I did pull something. he just keeled over.
Just passed out. Okay.
That's cool. He's hanging out with you that day.
Hope he remembers
That's what happened.
That's right, folks. I'm Fester Jenkins. In the studio, we do have Rob from R&R.
Thank you.
Years past, you worked with Easy Riders.
Well, we raced with these riders.
Okay. And
what it was is I raced my own team.
I started with Tampa Bay Ray. I ended up with Gary Friel and some other people. So I was in it for 8 years, hands-on. And then I got out of it completely. And then 18 years later, they called me up and asked me if I wanted to be the field boss again. So 2 years ago, I took over that job again. So I'm tied up with that. And it's been, rodeos are great. I've been doing it all my life. And it's a lot of fun. They'll find out July 24th.
I was about to say, are you going to be doing the rodeo on July 24th?
Yep, I'm going to be running the show out on the field, and I also got 2 trikes. I'm bringing in a couple of solo bikes to pull with. So I'm going to let some, friends and guests pull on the trike. This is an invitational event, especially because it's the first one. We want people to come out and feel comfortable trying to do some stuff in the rodeo. We're going to set the sled puller up to where it's real light. We're going to have like a 800, 1,000, 1,200 pound class bike, so you can come up with your street bike and we got some weight for you. We'll strap it to the back of the bike, and you get a chance to pull the sled. And we can adjust the sled as much as we want, so we can make it easy, we can make it real hard. We'll make it easy so everybody gets a chance to feel how it is, and if they want to come back the second or third round, we can tighten it up a little bit more, and we can stop them wherever we want if we have to. I got 2 of my trikes. We got 1 at Tampa Bay racetrack, so there'll be 3 trikes there for sure, and this is a real early count. So we're setting the bikes up for solo pullers and stuff like that, so we're going to put on a real good show for them.
What's going on, guys? Mason, Mini Bike Misfits. Just to let you guys know, don't miss out on Born to Ride's MotoFest on July 24th. A big shout out to All Steel Buildings for supporting us Misfits and sponsoring the mini bike races. Also, gotta say, big shout out to Go Power Sport for always making sure we're the fastest on the track. See you guys on the 24th.
Well, guys, that is all the time we have for this show. Ron, isn't it amazing how fast the time goes with so much biker content flying at you?
Telling you what, 25 years plus, Born to Ride, we're still digging, we're still grinding, and we're still looking for that ultimate story. It's sort of like a surfer looking for that ultimate wave. We want to tell your story, people, and Born to Ride is about the people. Can I testify?
Testify, baby.
One other thing, man. This Chopper Town platform, the people, all the people sacrificing and putting shows on for the pleasure of the biker community and viewers all over the world, man. We're happy to be a part of this, and we're honored to tell your stories and have you tune in to Born to Ride. We appreciate the feedback and the comments. It's always great to hear you. And thank you, Flash, for everything you do and everything Dave does. You guys do an excellent job. It's great to be here with you today.
Yeah, man, it's a great time, and wouldn't have it any other way. And folks, really, what Ron just hit on. Feel free to comment. Leave us notes. Tell us where you're listening, where you're watching, what you ride. If you got events coming up or whatnot, we definitely want to hear from you because like Ron said, we're all about the biker family, and family is a big word that we throw around a lot, but we don't take for granted. So make sure that you check us out. Again, check out borntoride.com. Check out all of our other social media pages, our YouTube, our Instagram channel. Just so much stuff coming at you, man. You could sit there all day and all night and not go through all of it. So make sure you do that, and we appreciate you guys supporting our show every week as well.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week. And, man, we're going to see him again next week, right, Flash? You'll be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll be in, and Dave will be back with us next week. And get ready. Put it on your day planner before that MotoFest, the Biker Rodeo. It's going to be amazing on the 24th. Just mark the whole day off and plan to, heck, you can mark the whole weekend off if you want to, and just plan to be hanging out with us. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week, y'all, and stay safe.
If Instagram is your thing, we're there. We're everywhere. Follow us at #Born to Ride Motorcycle Media, your #1 motorcycle resource.
Saturday, July 24th, it's the Born to Ride Great American MotoFest at the Boss Hog Ranch, Plant City. Presented by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL. The return of the motorcycle rodeo, sled pulls, and so much more. Rooster's Rod Shops,
Thunderstruck Rod and Truck Show, Budweiser Chopper Show, All Bikes Welcome, Roscoe's famous Outhouse Drags, Swamp Meet, Misfit Mini Bike Races, Bike Games, Ice Cold Budweiser, Food Truck Rally, TV taping, live radio remotes, live music concerts, Randy Stevens tribute to Stevie Ray Vaughan, Tommy Rock's band tribute to Southern Rock. Win a free cruise for 2 on the High Seas Rally. Win free tires from B Rubber and Metal Sport Wheels. Vendors call Mama Dukes. Special thanks to our sponsors. Only $5 admission. Proceeds to benefit the Florida Sheriff's Youth Ranches. Saturday, July 24th, the Born to Ride Great American MotoFest.
Seattle Engraving Center, the masters of gun customization, featuring incredible detailed engraving, 24-karat gold plating, diamonds, gems, murals, amazing gold accents, first-class quality, 100% satisfaction. More bang for your buck from their showroom. Raise money for your charity with a one-of-a-kind prize. Seattle Engraving. You dream it, they will create it.
The demand for Harley-Davidsons is at an all-time high. People are buying Harley-Davidsons as fast as we can stock them. That makes your bike worth more than ever before. If you ever wonder what that bike sitting in your garage is worth, it's never been easier than right now. Come visit us at Crystal Harley-Davidson, located in Homosassa, Florida, or visit us at crystalharley.com.
Is your business becoming invisible? Create a great advertising relationship today with Born to Ride.